Hi, my name's Ian and welcome to Chuck. Not been here before, welcome back. In this video we're back on the Vauxhall Agila, and the banging sound that I keep getting every time I go over quite a rough pothole, and I've now come to the conclusion that it's the strut that needs replacing. On a previous video I've changed the top mount and also the drop links as well, so we've got a nice shiny new one which I'll show in a minute, and we'll get it fitted. So this is our nice new one, and always a good thing with anything you're going to do before you're stripping anything down is just make sure that the part you bought is going to fit what you're going to be taking off. So just going to sort of hold it up here and have a quick look. Yeah, that looks like that lines, the mounting point lines up with the one over there, and also we've got a mounting point over there which corresponds with the one down here as well. So it looks all right at the moment. This bit of metal you can see on there, that just comes off. That's just something that's to do with transportation, I think. I'll just remove this brake sensor off of this bracket here, and you're going to need a 13mm spanner or socket to get this off so it releases the brake line from the strut assembly. So the first thing I'm going to do before getting started, I've got a scissor jack which I'm going to put underneath the actual hub assembly, just to basically jack it back up, because basically this spring at the moment is in full compression and I need to be able to get the drop link out without it sort of damaging it. So what I found when I've done it before is to jack it up, take some of the pressure off, and it allows the drop link to come out a lot easier. Now, depending on what kind of drop links you've got, the one I've got, you put a 17mm spanner, or socket should I say, onto the nut itself, and there's a flat on the back of this where you put a 15mm spanner at the back of it to stop it from spinning. Now, some of them, and the previous drop links I had, you had to put a 5mm Allen key into the middle of it, and then release it and try and hold it with the Allen key, which was a bit of a pain in the bum, but I must say these new ones that I've got now, they're a far better design. I've just dropped the jack back off again now, but the reason I use the jack is basically it pushes this whole assembly up. You see how high now the drop link is to the hole itself beneath there. So by jacking the whole thing up, it actually pushes this section up a bit, but then you also just have to give this a bit of a push down at the same time just to get it to come out, or when you come back to put it back together again, get it to locate, oh, get my hands in the right place, get it to locate back in again. But I'll show you that when we come to put it back on again in a while. So the next thing we're going to get undone, we're going to get this bolt here undone, the one that comes across the top here. You can see my fingers where they are, and there's also another one at the bottom there as well. So you've got need a 17mm nut and a 17mm socket and a 17mm spanner. Now, I know when I came to take these apart, when I did the top mount a little while ago, they're an absolute sod to get apart, but hopefully, because I've already had them apart recently, hopefully they'll come back apart quite easily, but we shall see. Right, that's now separated the main sort of hub assembly from the actual strut itself. It wasn't too bad this time, that's what it was last time, but yeah, word of warning, they can be quite tight and quite awkward to get out. But right, we need to go up into the, open the bonnet up and look into the engine bay now. So now we've got the bonnet open, we need to remove this scuttle panel that's here, and you'll need to remove the windscreen wipers. So there's like a little rubber bung that's on the top there, take that off, and then that then reveals a nut which you'll need a 12mm spanner for. Now, when last time I did this, I released the nuts, I shut the bonnet, and then I got the windscreen wipers off. I found that was the easiest way of doing it. And then once you've done that, you then need to release these little clips here. Basically just push it, you get a little screwdriver, push it downwards, that releases them, and then they pop out, and there's about 1, 2, 3, there's 5 of those altogether you need to get out. So we'll get that far and then I'll come back. If you find you're having difficulty releasing the windscreen wipers, just put the nut back on, and with a little toffee hammer, just give that a bit of a tap, and it'll take the actual wiper arm off the spline. Just to give you an idea of the time of year I'm doing this, my wife's just supplied me with Christmas cake. So we're about the 22nd of November at the moment, and it's cold outside. Now these clips here, just literally just get a little screwdriver and push down and push it up from underneath, and we're out. That's it, dead easy. So once we've got the wiper arms off and those little clips out, basically this panel just comes out, just lifts out. Obviously just put it over to one side so you're not going to tread on it. Put that over there. And if you're going to be doing the left arm one, basically all you do then is release this nut. Obviously that's got an Allen key thing set on the top of it as well, but because we're doing this side, we need to also release the wiper mechanism as well. And that's basically got 3 nuts you need to do, or 3 bolts you need to undo. So you got one here, one up there, and one over here. And from last time, I'm pretty sure it was a 10mm spanner. We need to get those undone. So that's the wiper mechanism now moved out of the way. You don't need to unplug anything or anything like that. It's just, as I said, just release the 3 nuts, or bolts, should I say. They were 10mm, so that now reveals the top of the strut. So I think I'm pretty sure, remember, that was a 17mm that we need to get that undone, but I will double check that in a minute. So it's possible, I know the last time I took this undone, this bit at the top here didn't spin, or the actual this section, but it might do this time. So best thing is a 17mm spanner, then with an Allen key section, I can put a socket on the end of this now, and hopefully that'll hold it then to stop it from spinning. But obviously you need to now get this undone, but also as it comes out, obviously you need to be able to support it as you then lower it out the bottom. So you may want somebody else to help you, but because this is just a little car, I know from previous experience that you can get the actual whole strut out by holding it one hand and then just undoing the nut with the other. Oh yeah, I've just started undoing that now, and it's coming undone without spinning the middle section, so I'll carry on doing that and then get the strut out. So that's the nut off now, so all you need to do then is take this section off of here, just put that to one side, and then you can actually then see the strut itself underneath. Now obviously sometimes they drop, but basically I've got mine balanced on top of the drive shaft at the moment, so I'm going to wiggle that out of the way and then the whole thing will come out. Right, so that's the strut now out. So I now need to compress the springs, which from doing these before, they're not very strong springs, so they don't take a lot of compression to release them back a bit. So obviously they don't think they get the thing sort of taking off and smacking in the face. But whenever you're doing this sort of job, always be very careful, especially with spring compressors and stuff. And also when you come to undo the nut that's on the end here, it's basically have the thing laying sideways, so if the spring compressors did let it go and it decides to all go sideways, then at least then you're not going to get it in your face. Right, to get this section undone, now I've compressed the spring, to get the top mount off and basically get the spring out so you can then reuse it, is you need a 19mm spanner on there and a 6mm hex head section in there to stop that from spinning. And I remember from last time it was a bit of a sod to get undone, but hopefully because I've had it undone before, again it might come undone a bit easier. So got the old one and the new one together now. I've just had a look at the old one, and there does appear to be a bit of play in the actual strut itself, in the shock absorber itself. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know whether it was enough to cause the banging, but you just never know, do you? Small amount of extra movement could probably cause maybe some banging to come through the car. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure that it's again the answer to this to the question of the banging, but as I've got it all out and I've got a brand new one in there, then I'm going to fit it anyway. But I do suspect that the shock or the strut is not fully the problem here, but there is one other thing I'm going to be fitting that may be part of the answer as well. So one thing that's missing from these springs, and I know it's on the other side, and I'm wondering that when last time we went in to have the springs replaced on it, whether they forgot to put it on, was these rubber boots. So again, that can stop some banging as well. So yeah, we're going to fit one of these rubber boots to the bottom of the spring, and hopefully that will stop some of the creaking as well that you get sometimes with this as well. But as I said, whether I've actually come to the bottom of the problem, I really don't know, but it's a process of elimination. But, as I said, there is a bit of sort of extra movement in that one to what there is in the new one, so we shall see. Right, so that's the rubber boot now installed on there, and in this case now putting it all back together again. When you come to put the spring back in, obviously make sure it locates into this slight stopper, so obviously it stops it from spinning around. And as I said, we've got the rubber boot on there now, so hopefully that will help things as well. Right, I'll carry on putting it back together. Right, that's the strut all back together now with its new rubber boot on it as well. Just make sure, as I said at the bottom there, that you get these located into their correct positions. So the spring sits up against the stopper there, and there's also one up inside here as well. Can't see where it is actually, it's around the other side. That's got a stopper to go up against it as well, just to make sure it's all sat in the right place. So this case now getting it all back together. Right, that's everything all back together again now. The weather's turned absolutely disgusting out here now, so I've sort of put the wiper mechanism back on and tightened everything back up off camera. But I was saying earlier on that it's a good idea when you come to put it back together again. You really need 3 hands, because you'll find that the strut is really close to the actual drive shaft, and this drop link, the actual mechanism that it's attached to, that's like a tie rod sort of thing, I suppose. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I'm not sure what part of the car is. There is a name for it, but anyway, I can't remember it. But that bit is pointing upwards. So what I found was, if you got like a long bar in here and basically push down on that, while you're trying to put it back together again, then that helped get it all back together. And obviously make sure you haven't got the jack underneath, because basically you need to be able to push this downwards as well. But the reason the jack's back underneath it again, I find it easier for when you're putting the tie rod back on, to actually jack the hub up and then get this bar again in here, and it then pushes this section down then to lower it down enough to then get this this bolt back in, or then up back onto the actual tie rod itself. Hope that sort of explains it. But it's, you basically need 3 hands. I had to get my wife out to actually hold this section here to push it down, so I could then get these bolts back in here, which are a bit of a nightmare. But we got there in the end. As I said, it's a disgusting day now. It's turning very cold and wet and miserable. So but anyway, that's the new strut all back in there now. Got the rubber bit on there as well, so hopefully that might stop some of the creaking as well. The only thing left to do now is take it for a drive. So I'm going to have some lunch, and then I'll take it up the track and just see if it's cured it or not. Right, the weather is absolutely disgusting, but we shall take it for a run up the track and just see if it has cured the problem. I have a sneaky suspicion that there might be something else wrong with this car, but we shall see. Right, I'll flick you around so you can see going up the track. Not the best of views, is it? Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, this track is disgusting. It's my son lives near a farm. Well, it's part of an old farmhouse actually, and actually so far we've not got the banging we normally get going up that bit of the track. Put some wipers on. Actually, where is it? Still banging away, so that's something else then that's wrong with it. So basically we've changed the top mount, changed the drop link, and we've now changed the strut, and it's still banging away. Got any ideas of what else is causing this banging that I'm getting on the right hand side of the vehicle when I'm going over, the track, you can see it's quite a bumpy track, so it's bound to pick up more stuff than normal, but I'm not getting this knocking sound that I'm getting off the right hand side from the left hand side at all. So hence the reason I thought it was the strut. I must say, as I said, when I took the old strut off, it didn't seem to have much wind and movement on it. So let's turn around and go back down the other way. And this is the sway bar that's underneath there. I think that's probably got some bushes in it, so whether it's that or not. But so when he went for its MOT, the guy got his like crowbar out, and he said there was definitely movement in the top end of the strut, which is why you thought to begin with it was the top mount that was the problem. I mean, is it as bad as it was? I'm not sure. Oh well, at least I know I've got all new parts on there, so I know it's not those bits that's the problem. But, we shall see. So that was another £47 spent on the car, and I'm not sure I needed to. I must say, it doesn't seem quite as bad as it was, but it's definitely still a knocking coming from that right hand side. Yeah, definitely there. Anyway, as I said, anyone's got any ideas of what else it could be, it'd be fantastic if you could let me know. Thanks for watching the video. If you've got any questions, otherwise to the questions I've got to ask you, please do not hesitate to ask. And it'd be fantastic if you'd like us to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again in the next one. Cheers.